Hello there, it's Lamin. Now, a year ago today, I have purchased the Dell Inspiron 153515. And in my unboxing video, I did say that once it's been a year since I've owned this laptop and since I've, you know, purchased it, of course, I'm going to give you guys a 1 year later review. Well, here it is. The Dell Inspiron 153515, 1 year later. Now, before we get into the review, I do want to mention two things. So the first thing is I am a student. I go to university and I study computer science. So if you are also in such a situation, in such a position, well, hey, stick around. I can also give you guys, my experience as a uni student with this laptop. So that's the first thing. The second thing as well is I did change up the specs from when I first got it, which is apparent in my Dell Inspiron upgrades video, which you will find on my channel. Just a reminder, a few of the upgrades that I've done. I have upgraded the stock 256GB SSD to a Samsung 980 500GB SSD. I have also upgraded the RAM from 8GB to 16GB. I've also added a 1TB Western Digital hard drive, and this one that I've done off camera, I have changed out the palm rest and keyboard with a backlit keyboard. So just to remind you there, so my experience may differ from yours a little bit, because again, I have upgraded and changed mine since I first got it. So without any further ado, let's get into the review. So what do I like about the laptop? Well, for starters, it does have a pretty modern design for a budget laptop. I have seen some budget mid-range laptops that don't really look as good. They look like a laptop from pre-2005 or so. But for a budget laptop, I like the design for it, to be honest. I like the big trackpad, I like the keyboard with its nice looking font, the screen as well. A 1080p display with thin bezels, and I really like that. The laptop is thin too. The laptop is thin. Then you also got the I/O. So on the left side you've got the charging port, you've got a HDMI port, you've got two USB 3.0 ports. And then on the left side, well, for those who like the headphone jack, well, guess what? This laptop comes with a headphone jack. Then luckily you also have a fully fledged, full-sized SD card slot, and you've got a USB 2.0 USB port as well, which is pretty cool. Then my laptop doesn't have it, but you can also get a fingerprint sensor for it too. I've tried to source out the fingerprint sensor and I couldn't get it. I've searched eBay, I've searched online, I couldn't get it. I even decided to call up Dell and talk to a clerk and see if I could get the fingerprint sensor. But for some reason, the clerk was telling me this laptop does not support a fingerprint sensor. But when I look on your website, there's literally specifications for the fingerprint sensor. There's literally a manual for the fingerprint sensor. And when I open up the laptop too, there's even a part on the motherboard labeled FPR or FP, which stands for fingerprint reader. So what do you mean? But when there is a fingerprint sensor, I will make a video about it and, give you guys my thoughts on the fingerprint sensor too. Then you got the speed. So the speed of the laptop, to be honest, it's okay for its age. Well, not for its age, but for its sector, as it's a budget laptop. It does obviously support an SSD, so speeds aren't going to be too slow. Mine is powered by an AMD Ryzen 5, so, 4 cores, 8 threads. Hey, no complaints there. Browsing the web is quick. Booting it up, fairly quick. It's actually a good laptop for its speed. For its speed, it's amazing. Battery life on this laptop as well is actually pretty good. In a lecture, this laptop can actually last me a good 3 hours. That's if everything is on low by that time. So basically, my power settings are on low. Battery saver doesn't have to be on. Maybe I'd say my power settings is unbalanced. But I can get up to maybe 3 hours in a lecture, provided, like, let's say I'm web browsing, also got my Word documents open, It can actually last up to a good 3 hours. The front camera as well isn't too bad. The front camera isn't too bad. I believe it does up to 720p though. But it is a budget laptop, so 720p for a budget laptop isn't too bad. Could be better, 1080p, but 720p seems to be the norm for laptops. Even in 2023, some high-end laptops are still using 720p webcams. Another thing I like about the laptop is it's very easy to upgrade, and I feel like it would be easy to repair too. Like as you guys seen in the video, opening up the laptop, just slotting in some RAM, at least it's not soldered. SSD also simple to upgrade. And I like how when I first got the laptop as well, opening it up, you've got the cable for the hard drive. Then you also got a caddy for the hard drive. So this laptop is pretty easy to repair. And speaking from experience as well, from changing out the palm rest for the backlit keyboard, it was actually pretty easy to do. Obviously, we had to change it since the keyboard is fused into the palm rest, had to take out the motherboard, the battery and all of that. And it was so simple. It was so simple. I'm telling you, anybody could do that. It's very simple. Now, to the dislikes of the laptop. I won't lie to you. As cool as this laptop is, I do have quite a few dislikes. Dislike number one is the material. The laptop is made of plastic and it's weak. Like I'm telling you, I will post pictures. You guys should see the pictures. My old palm rest literally cracked. There is literally a crack in the middle of my old palm rest. That is how weak this plastic material is. So I do recommend that if you are going to get this laptop, get a case. Get a case, which is what I've done. It should be coming tomorrow. By tomorrow, this video will be up. So get yourself a case for this laptop. The material is weak.
I also forgot to mention that both of my hinges broke on me. The first hinge broke it was the right side. That broke, I think, around March, April. But I didn't take a picture of that. But the ones you are seeing right now is the one from August. That was my left side. What happened was, for some reason, the nut decided to detach from the lid. That was an easy fix. All I had to do was just super glue the nut back onto the hinge. Back onto the lid, and it worked. But I don't know why it happened. It could have been bringing my laptop in and out of the bag, opening and closing it. I don't know. Still, I don't know. But yeah, my hinges were broken too.
I can't get this on video because each time I get the camera out ready to record, it just fixes itself up. But for some reason, while using the laptop, it lasts 10 seconds. The laptop freezes and the fan spins on full speed and then stops and then carries on like nothing happened. I've done research. Some people have found out solutions. I've tried it. It didn't work. Some people are also on the same boat as me. They just can't fix it, and it's really irritating. Lack of USB-C. In my opinion, although this is a budget laptop, in 2023, I feel like it should have at least just one USB-C port, even if it's a USB 2.0 port, considering everybody is moving to USB-C. Nowadays, you get phones in the box. It's USB-C to C. Even Apple got forced by the EU to move to USB-C. So in my opinion, I feel like this laptop should have came with at least one USB-C port. Even if it was USB 2.0 speeds, at least a USB-C port. And in my opinion as well, like, I don't know if anyone else has been having this issue, but for me personally, trying to plug in a USB and taking it out, it's stiff. Like with my old laptop, plugging in a USB in and taking it out is simple and smooth. But with this laptop, I find myself times where I can plug it in easily, but I'll have times where I'm trying to pull it out. Like pull it out with force. So I don't know if anyone else has been experiencing it, but with me personally, that's what I've been experiencing so far. Then the display brightness. I'm not gonna lie, the brightness of the screen isn't very bright. When I compare the screen brightness of my old laptop to this one, I see that my old laptop, bear in mind my old laptop from 2009, it's much brighter. Using my old laptop outside, it's actually okay. It's actually okay, despite it having a glossy display. But this having a matte display, I almost can't see. Like I have to put my hands over the screen in order to see. So outdoor use for this is no. And last but not least, this might not bother many of you, but for me personally, this bothers me a lot. The lack of legacy boot support. So obviously this laptop, it's a modern laptop, so it's going to have UEFI capabilities. But sometimes it is good to have legacy or CSM as it's called in some BIOSes, CSM support. For example, there might be an old operating system that you would like to do or you would need to use because modern versions of Windows, don't support a certain program or hardware. Or you can also say, for example, virtual machines won't cut it, so you need to use the actual hardware. For example, there may be some Linux distros out there that do not support UEFI or work better on legacy. So that, for me personally, it doesn't bother me as much, but them times where you need the legacy support, yeah. And that's it, guys. That is literally my review of the Dell Inspiron 15 3515. Do I recommend it in 2023? Yeah, for a cheap laptop. I mean, it's not that bad. For its specs as well, the design is cool, the speed, the battery life, very easy to repair and upgrade. I'd say yeah, go for it. So yeah, guys, that is my 1 year later review of the Dell Inspiron 15 3515. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you have any questions about this laptop regarding experience, put it in the comment section below. I will try my best to answer questions and comments as quickly as possible. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope you guys got an idea of this laptop and now you've made up your mind on if you want to purchase the laptop or not. And yeah, peace out.